welcome back to my channel. My name is Grace if you've never been here before, and today I'm going to be talking about my future plans with minimalism. So as some of you know, I started my minimalism journey in about August or September of last year. And I've just been trying to go around my house and clear out different areas of my living space. It's been a journey, and I have all the progress of that on my YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch. But now that I feel like I've hit a place where I don't have like so much extra clutter, I have a manageable amount of things, and I just need to really think about what I actually want and need. It is now getting down to the point of, let's see how I can limit myself and the things that I have. So it started out just as like a movement of minimalism, and I feel like it's slowly morphing into a movement in my life, of slow living and frugality in a way, because I feel like all three of those things kind of tie together really naturally, as well as environmentalism, but that's always been an undercurrent of my life since like high school and beyond, honestly. But essentially today I just wanted to talk about some of my ideas of things that I wanted to kind of put out there, either to hold myself accountable or also perhaps give you ideas of some things that you could do in terms of keeping your possessions low and trying to be more intentional about the things that you're buying and the things that you're keeping in your house. So essentially in this video, I'm just going to be talking about my ideas of how I'm going to minimize the amount of things that I own, keep it that way, and also my plans for the future in terms of my like minimalism journey and just where my life is going in general in terms of this lifestyle, I guess. So a couple of ideas of things that I can kind of impose upon myself to do, almost like a challenge in a way, is really focus on not buying extras of things. So truly only buying a refill if I'm out of something, not just because something is on sale, because that kind of feeds into the scarcity mindset. I also really want to be mindful of only having one thing at a time, like one shampoo, one conditioner, one bar of soap. Although I have like 12 bars of soap in this apartment right now, I'm just not going to buy any more until I completely run out, because it feels stupid to throw away soap that is perfectly good when it's really not taking up that much space in my apartment right now. But like moving forward, my plan is to just like use up all of my toiletries, extras, things, and just not have like an insane stockpile of them waiting to go. I can just buy things as I need them and replace the things that are running out, instead of having a stockpile or buying something because it's on sale, because I'll think that I'll use it or I think that I need it, because that was just feeding into a whole lifestyle that was not beneficial to me at all. I really would like to also challenge myself to keep my makeup and skincare very scant. So really truly only having the amount of stuff that I could fit into 2 small makeup bags. And I really think that I can achieve that because I barely wear makeup. The most amount of makeup that I'd be wearing on a daily basis would be a little bit of concealer, a tiny bit of blush, and a little bit of mascara. So I don't really see myself having the need to have other crazy things like more than like 3 lipsticks, honestly, or 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes just on like a special occasion if I wanted to. And kind of going on that vein, I really don't want to have more than like 10 or 15 nail polishes at a time. It's one of those things where I probably won't be buying more nail polish in the future, but I will just use what I have. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe I'll just have like a couple of nail polishes. Maybe I'll limit myself to like 5 or something, but we'll see. That's one of those things that I'm not quite sure about yet. I haven't made up my mind, but time will tell. Also, in terms of minimizing the things that I own, kind of being really intentional about the eco swaps that I'm making. We have a cloth coffee filter that my boyfriend uses, and it just means that we don't have to buy packages and packages and packages of disposable coffee filters. So first of all, it's better for the environment, it's better for our wallet, and it reduces the amount of space and clutter that something is taking up in our cupboard, because it's literally just like 2 tiny little pieces of cloth stuck in our cupboard instead of like a giant box of disposable coffee filters. So honestly, when you think about it, the eco-friendly option is usually just a better one in general, economically and spatially as well. And speaking of that, I just bought a safety razor that I'm super excited about, because now I won't have to buy 1 million razors or a new razor head every time that I run out of something, and I don't have to waste plastic, waste money, all this other stuff. I can just buy the new little razors that I can insert into the thing, and they're so small and take up virtually no space at all. And I'm just excited to have one less thing to worry about, honestly. The razor blades also come in like 10 packs for a really cheap price. So you buy a safety razor for like 20 or 30 bucks one time, and you have it forever, and you just have to spend a couple bucks on the razors every once in a while. It's kind of a no-brainer to me, but whatever. I guess it took me a while to get on the train, but now that I'm here, I ain't leaving. Also, I think in terms of other things like clothes, I'm probably just going to adhere to a strict 1 in, 1 out policy from now on. So as you know, I've been trying to inch closer and closer to a 10-item wardrobe, and I have like a warm weather wardrobe and a cold weather wardrobe because New York has very extreme weather. So it's kind of like a 20-item wardrobe plus some extras, which kind of unfortunately makes it a lot larger than I would want it to be, but because I live somewhere with such an extreme climate, it's really the only way that it's gonna work out for me and not be totally ridiculous and just me wearing the same 3 outfits over and over again. So I think with the 1 in, 1 out policy, I can really I think with the 1 in, 1 out policy, I can be truly certain that every single thing that I buy is something that I really love. I've gotta love it so much that I am replacing some other thing in my wardrobe with it. So I need to like it more than all of my, or at least one of my other pieces of clothing. And I think that's going to be really beneficial for me. Other than that, I think my biggest thing right now is just going through what I have, and once I've like gotten my use out of it, I can donate it or pass it on. Or if I realize that I haven't used it in a very long time, then maybe I can just donate it as well. I'm trying to read through my books at the moment, trying to go through my extra perfume bottles, my extra lotions and everything, so that I could just have one thing of each thing, or just like the core books that I really like or know that I'm gonna reread, or things that I know I would like to lend out to my friends and get back, because that's how much I want people to read these books and blah blah blah. The slight catch of it all is the fact that, as you guys know, I live in a space where not all of the things are mine. I don't know if I've ever explicitly said this on the channel, but my boyfriend and I live in the apartment that he grew up in as a child. So his mom owns this apartment, we pay rent to her, and some of the things in it are hers and also his older sister's stuff. A lot of it doesn't belong to us, which is good and bad. It's good because when we eventually move out of here, we don't have a bunch of things that we feel obligated to take or whatever, because it's literally just not ours, so we can't take it. It also just makes me feel very free that I could just move on from this place and leave it here, and I don't have to worry about decluttering all of it before leaving. And on the slightly more negative side of that, it just means that there is a lot of stuff here that I can't declutter because it physically does not belong to me. but I also know that not all of it is going to be here forever. All you guys need to know is that some of it is staying for good, some of it's leaving in the next couple years, but it's kind of undetermined at this point, and all in all, whatever is here, and we just have to live around it and move around it. I am extremely fortunate to have a place to call home that is safe and comfortable. So honestly, it is really not that big of a deal. It's just sometimes a little bit confusing during my minimalism journey that there's so many things that I can't declutter in my own space. But at the same time, I know that this is just the beginning, and I know that once Ray and I move, that there's like a whole other thing that we are going to experience once we move abroad. And on that note, I've definitely mentioned this before, but essentially the plan for the future is that Ray and I are going to move to New Zealand in 5 years. My goal, it's not really a goal, it's pretty much like an all-knowing feeling, is that I'm going to be in New Zealand when I am 30. Pretty much my goal is that I am turning 30 in New Zealand, and I already live there, and whether we get to move there a lot before or a little before is just up to whatever happens in our lives. But essentially, I'm 24 and a half, I guess. Right now I'm turning 25 in November, so we got 5 years still in New York. My ideal situation to move there would just be to send our dog and move over there with a couple of suitcases, because by that time I really hope that my whole wardrobe fits into a couple of suitcases, like 2 at the max, and then put some other stuff in a duffel bag and call it a day. But unfortunately, my boyfriend is a little bit more of a sentimentalist than I am, and he has a couple of things that he does not want to part with, as well as the fact that he is a musician and he has a lot of expensive music gear that he needs to ship over there. So we're probably gonna have to end up getting a small shipping container, but I will cross that bridge when I get to it, and I'm trying to put as little stuff in there as possible. He's trying to stuff it to the brim with things that we can buy here so we don't have to buy them over there, and we're gonna have to figure that out, but it'll happen when it happens. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see how it all kind of pans out. For those of you that don't know, I am a dual citizen of the US and New Zealand. My grandmother is from there. She passed her citizenship down to my dad, and the way that she passed it down, for some reason, he kind of got granted citizenship, so he is seen as like a full citizen in the eyes of New Zealand, and therefore he was able to pass it down to us because he was a citizen before we were born. Long story short, it probably was a tiny bit of a loophole, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm extremely lucky and privileged to say that I have a New Zealand passport, and I don't intend on squandering that amazing thing that has been bestowed upon me. So I'm really excited to move there. I think about it every day. I know the grass is not always greener on the other side, but I also know that my values are definitely more upheld in the country of New Zealand in terms of environmentalism, kindness, outdoorsiness, connection to nature and the land, and just the possibilities that are there. I feel like the people are just nicer, more laid back. It's just not like that in New York, and that's just obvious. My goal is to live on a farm and have sheep and dogs and grow my own food and live a simple, minimalistic lifestyle, and that's really my dream. So I'm doing everything that I possibly can to make that happen by working my ass off here in New York, and I'm just excited that this minimalism journey is kind of bringing me closer to that final kind of like lifestyle that I want in New Zealand, because the more peace that I can find here, I know that I'm going to feel better once I move there. And the less stuff I have, the less stressful this move is gonna be. So I'd rather just slowly get rid of it now for the next 5 years instead of getting rid of it all at once and being extremely overwhelmed when all of that is happening. So for now, we're just gonna be focusing on doing simple renovations, getting rid of the extra clutter that we personally own, and seeing what we can do to minimize the amount of stuff that we buy and have in our apartment, and just generally the amount of belongings that we have, because I really only want to be moving there with the things that truly matter the most to me and not bringing too much extra. In other news, another thing that I've been thinking about for a little while is maybe doing a no-buy challenge. I recently listened to the audiobook The Year of Less by Kate Flanders, and ooh, it really got me thinking. It really got me thinking, because she decluttered a bunch of her stuff and she didn't buy anything for a year. And it wasn't like nothing. There was a couple things, she like made a list, did all this stuff. So I don't know, I've really been thinking about doing a no-buy year in 2024 because I feel like it would be a really interesting thing to experience, to share. So if you guys are still watching this video and you find that interesting, then let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, or if you would like to see me do that, because I'm really truly considering it for 2024. And I know that that's like a while away, but I feel like I need to give myself a minute to theorize how I want it to go and like come up with my lists and a game plan and everything, and kind of sort out my personal finances, I guess, before kind of just like going into it. I'm gonna do it pretty much in a similar way that she is doing it. Sorry to like keep you guys waiting on that, but I definitely need to give myself some time to organize myself and my thoughts before I think I tackle a full year of limiting myself on buying anything. And I think it would just be a really interesting thing to experience and share. So I think that is pretty much it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring just listening to me ramble about my life and my thoughts. But I guess that's what YouTube is at the end of the day, right? And that's why you're on my channel. So I will see you guys in the next one. I will see you guys in the next one, and until then, I am sending you all my love because we are really just trying our best out here. I know I am. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.